Kids, if y'all can't be quiet, I will stop this car.
We stop.
I will stop this car if you can't be quiet.
We all stop.
You guys all got quiet like some adult walked in the room and caught you doing something you shouldn't have been doing. Welcome to St. Augustine this evening.
An adult did. You came home.
The Mike Davis Show. Yes, the adult is back in the room on this show.
Sorry.
There's only one of me, and I understand that.
If you do happen to watch the shows from the past week, I apologize.
I'm going to watch the shows from the past week. Where I was at, we were very, very busy with Christian surfers. We'll talk about that in a minute.
Okay.
We got an amazing guest here today. We've got a great basketball game to talk about if you did not watch it.
There's a basket with a ball?
Yes. It's a sports thing. It's sports ball. Sports ball, yes.
I got it.
And our favorite banana has joined us today.
Marita
For those of you...
Marita Breadman.
Yes.
It's my Marita Breadman suit.
What was the banana like? Chiquita banana.
Yeah.
So how's the wedding going? How's the marriage of you and Chiquita going?
Me and Chiquita?
Yes.
Let's not get me in trouble. You,
I know.
you saw the panic that hit my face.
Yeah. Suddenly Troy had the shakes.
But I can see Rebecca wearing a crown of fruit.
Yeah.
She said, that's what it takes. I'll wear it.
We've just come up with a Halloween costume. That's what we've done.
All right, let's make some money because we got to pay some bills so I can go travel again. And Amanda can go shower again. Bozard Ford Lincoln in St. Augustine, their goal is to make sure your time and experience buying a new or used car is stress-free, fun, and enjoyable. Bozard is a family-owned Ford dealership that has been in business here in St. Augustine since 1949. And Bozard Ford has been the recipient of numerous awards, including being ranked the #1 automotive dealership in the nation by Dealer Rater. Go out, check them out. Go see Bo and Letty and all of their staff, or check them out online at bozardford.com. Stop by Ford's Garage. There's an amazing burger out there named after Carlos, our fire chief, and the morning show, the Jiffy Burger. I just wanted to see them all hesitate.
904 Now Burger. Get it with light peanut butter.
Light peanut butter.
Especially if you have a beard, it goes everywhere. It's not pretty.
So many thoughts running through my head. But the team at South State Bank is a group of bankers you can count on. Their approach to building long-term relationships with their customers is the best in the business. If you are looking for a banking relationship you can depend on, check out South State Bank. They've got 3 locations to serve you in St. Augustine: State Road 312, State Road 16, or the beach. You can also visit their website, southstatebank.com. They are a member FDIC. We also have Brightway Insurance, the Casey agency. They opened their doors in 2008, and they have proudly stood by their customers through hurricanes, major floods, hail, and fires. Through these events, the agency has become a much-needed insurance resource in times of trouble and hardship. Honesty and integrity are the pillars of our core values, says owner Ashley Casey. They pride themselves on being insurance experts while developing strategies that help their clients meet their insurance needs. They truly enjoy the relationships that they have forged with you, St. Augustine. So for all your insurance needs, Brightway Insurance, the Casey agency.
And my favorite read, Land Title of America. Whether you realize it or not, when you refinance the sale or purchase of a home, there's a title company involved. Don't get stuck with some out-of-town company that doesn't give a crap when you're faced with challenges. Stay local and choose Land Title of America. Just call or text Stephen Collins, 904-501-4481. He specializes in all types of real estate transactions. Land Title, your local title company, ensuring America's land one title at a time, because
they give a crap.
They do give a crap. Stephen Collins, great guy. If you text him, he will text you back.
You will?
Rather an amazing thing. All right, we have all kinds of stuff to discuss. We got trips, we got the week, we got my showers apparently have gone viral. But before we do that, USA Basketball about 10 minutes ago, 15 minutes ago, ended a 17-point comeback.
Wow.
Basketball's the sport where there's 10 people on the court, 5 on each side, Amanda. They run up and down and they try to put the ball in a basket. And it's either 1 point, 2 point, or 3 points.
Started with the peach basket.
Yes.
That helps.
Yes.
Okay, that's helpful.
Yes, it's okay. It's a really good, but rather amazing game. I'm not a huge LeBron fan, but I thought he played amazing in the second half. Steph Curry.
That was ridiculous.
Yeah.
He was so good the entire game. Like, he was the only one who played in the first half. And then the second half, when him, KD, and LeBron were on the court
Steph
together.
had 35 points.
I think it was 36, I believe.
He had like 10 threes or 11 threes.
Yeah, he broke the record for the Olympics, I believe.
I mean, it was a fun game
Blake
to
forgot
watch.
it was on.
I knew it was on.
What kind of fan are you?
But he didn't know until we got to the parking lot.
Yeah. Oh,
I didn't do
man.
my Bollox homework. I'm so devastated. Caught the last minute on my phone though.
It was I'm going to tell you I picked it up about midway through the third quarter.
Uh-huh.
We were down double digits, and we would cut it down. And Serbia shot lights out the first 3 quarters. They made 15 threes in the first 3 quarters, 0 in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
0 in the fourth quarter. That was the difference. If they'd been a little bit hot, I think. And the U.S. actually had a 5-point lead. I thought, don't settle right now. And then it became a 2-point lead.
Pushing,
Yeah, keep
pushing.
So you got to, when you're up by 5 in basketball, you got to try to win by 10, or you lose by 1.
Well, and Serbia went into that kind of prevent defense.
Yes.
So they were playing not to lose.
Oh, yeah.
And you know how that works out. You always lose when you play not to lose.
You always lose when you play not to lose. That is 100% right.
Yeah.
Keep your foot on the gas.
So I was like, oh gosh, I told Mike I'd do the show. I'm going to be tardy.
You're going to be really tardy. Really
I hate to
tardy.
tell you, if we went into OT, you would have been doing the show with the
Yes.
other 2 Bollox boys.
Yes.
I always know when to start the stream when he walks in because he only ever walks in 2 minutes before.
That's it. I ruin the show if we do any type of show prep.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. So we learned
You
that-
do. We learned that 11
decade
years ago. Yeah, second show. Quit bringing in stuff here. Apparently, people want to know, yes, this is a beard. I have not shaved in a little over a week.
Oh, I thought it was shadows. I said
No,
it was-
it's not
I
shadows
said it
and
was
stuff.
dirt and
It's actually,
shadows.
yes. There's a lot of dirt there.
Okay.
There's a lot of
I
dirt.
can almost see it.
You definitely,
It's a summer beard.
Yeah.
There's some hair here and there's some hair there.
you
It's a
definitely need
summer beard.
moisturizer.
Moisturizer?
I was going to call you Patches.
I would have been
Patches
okay with
O'Houlihan.
that. Listen, I would have been okay with that. If you can dodge a wrench. No, it was
Move cotton.
really, really good game. I'm happy for USA basketball.
Can we talk about the headline writers? Steph Curry explodes early against Serbia. Really? That's the headline? Come on.
Why do I feel like if Davey was here, there'd be laughter with that comment?
I can't with this. Steph Curry explodes early against. I don't know if I want to click on the story now.
It was an explosion.
You know what? That's not true, Amanda. I know you. You didn't even read the rest of the headline and you clicked on the story.
That's all you needed.
Not true. I totally took a screenshot before I clicked it.
So apparently
What I
I triggered you with all of my referring to your shower vacations.
Mm-hmm.
And so I guess I got all of the shower scenes this week.
So,
my favorite one, though, is the Humphrey Bogart one.
well, that's the one we started with.
an awesome one.
This was yesterday, and it turns out this was prophetic because you had a real rough flight home. How did that go?
We had a 7-hour delay in San Salvador. San Salvador's airport is one of the nicest airports I have ever been to.
Mm-hmm.
It is clean. There's plenty of food there. There's more duty-free shops in the San Salvador
You said
airport.
duty.
I did say that, yes. Then it's so nice to be back with kids. Than there is in the Miami airport. I mean, every other shop is a duty-free shop.
Did it again?
But when the airline got delayed, you can't leave the airport, right? You don't really want to. Your bags are all there. So the flight from Miami to San Salvador got delayed 7 hours. So we were supposed to leave at about 12:30. We left a little bit after 7 p.m. Sleeping on the floor there, I did get really good at that. Everyone in the crew got really good at that because we had gotten up super early to go surfing that morning. And so you're like, well, I would be sleeping on a plane now, so I'll just sleep on the floor. You couldn't sleep on the chairs because they had the armrest between each individual seat to keep you from sleeping on the chairs.
See, if you're a little smaller, your legs fit between those arms.
I knew that you would fit there, and I have a question today just for you. Just for you today, I dug up a question, literally dug up a question just for you.
I have a little bit of a different strategy, having spent time in gynecological exams. All you have to do is put your legs over the armrest. You sit in the chair against the wall, you lean your back against the wall, knees go over the armrest. You're super comfortable.
No chairs.
So you woman spreading now?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, 100%.
Okay. Well, the camera can't see it, but everyone else can, in here can.
Mm-hmm. That's fine.
But it was an amazing trip. I went with Christian surfers. It's the first time I've been with that group. I've been surfing a bunch of times down there where it really was just the main mission for me was surfing and kind of relaxing. This one was work missions. We got to really get engaged with a lot of the folks in El Salvador. There's a church down there called Heaven Church. And they do outreach all over the area of San Salvador. We were up in the mountains one day We were so high up in the mountains, we were close to Honduras. So there was a stream that went by, and they said a little farther up the road, this stream is the border between Honduras and El Salvador.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever we hit a really bad bump and everyone had to get out of the van, and there was like 14 of us walking and the van was driving by itself, I said, somewhere up in space, there's a U.S. satellite that's identified us as a caravan.
Yeah.
It's like, we need to get back in the van. Yeah. But it was a wonderful church up there. We did a bunch of painting and work there, and then went down Monday. That was Friday. Monday, we went to a church where you had to get in a panga. I think they were rated for about 20 people. We had at least 35 in each one and supplies. Cool. So that was really good. We were right there at the water line.
So you're at the limit.
I think we're approaching the limit. Mm-hmm. But we went with 3 boats.
More of a suggestion.
We went with 3 boats and came back with 2. So that ought to tell you how the crowd was on the way back. But we painted a church. There's an island, has power on it, but no water and no sewer. Right. Wow. So you have wells and you have outhouses. And I showed you guys a picture of the outhouse. So yeah, it was a very place. But we were able to paint the entire church. It was great because as a contractor, they're showing me pictures of this bright green wall. And they're like, we're going to paint this. And I said, well, please tell me we're doing something that's a little darker shade of something. The pastor came back with white. We asked again. The pastor came back with white. Other people in the group that know how to paint said, hey, can we? I said, no, it's already white. So we were able to make it work out, though.
So you said they have no water. Do they have to just pail the water? Or
I think they probably are some wells that they've drilled there. Okay. I did not see any of the working wells kind of by the church. I'm sure there are wells on it, but no, I think there's maybe 1 or 2 cars on the whole island. Most of them there was a gator that I saw there that was like the taxi driving people. A lot of these people are in the fishing industry, and they'll go down the river out to it's literally 20 minutes from there down the river and out into the ocean to fish.
Davey asks if there were any roundabouts.
Yes, there were roundabouts all over the place. I was not driving. Our driver, Federico, did a phenomenal job driving. There was more than one time we were 3 wide, which was really pretty cool because he would honk the horn and a guy would move over, and then he would take the middle of the road, and then the other car would not get mad, upset, give a 1 finger wave, but would just move over to the other side. And you just hope that there was no, store there on the side of the road, or a motorcycle, or a bicycle, or a pedestrian, and it all worked out. So
did everyone zipper merge there?
There was more than one. Friday night when we came back from the mountains, it was a 3+ hour trip up. There was almost 5 hours back because we came back at rush hour Friday. There's a couple million people that live in San Salvador, and they were on national holiday. Friday was the beginning of their national holiday.
So it was a long weekend holiday.
It was a long holiday weekend, and everyone was leaving. And I mean, I was in the back of the van, and I had Google Maps out, and I knew where we were supposed to be going, and I saw the blue line of what they were recommending, and we weren't on that line.
That's not the line.
We weren't on that line. No, that's not the line we were on.
That's when you're thinking they're harvesting body parts.
I just was grateful that yes.
It's a little dark.
That's where I would be.
Yeah, there were multiple passes where
whoever gets my liver is going to be extremely disappointed.
you just started counting the cars you were passing, and you were just figuring in your head the probability of a semi coming the other way as you pass the 11th or 12th or 13th one, and you're like, sooner or later there's got to be a bus or something. They do have all the buses down there decorated. And there's some yellow school buses. Which was interesting.
Bruce says that story doesn't really hold water because you closed your eyes when you were passing 18 cars.
I told you I was in the back. There were times I just didn't want to look. Yeah. Because if I didn't look, I didn't know that I was in danger. It was just easier though. But a really great country, amazing people. The surf down there is phenomenal. We got to surf I think 5 or 6 times, and every time the waves were great.
Yeah, and I think we're so spoiled when we're talking about water. Like, waterborne disease is the #1 killer throughout the entire world. And, we're so spoiled that we turn on a faucet. There's countries where people have never taken a hot shower.
Yes.
And it's just, some of the things we have in our life, we live like kings.
We live like kings. We don't appreciate how good we have it. There's all these different stats if you go read them about if you lived on a paved road, if you live with indoor plumbing, if you have air conditioning, it keeps putting you higher and higher up into Bernie Sanders, the top 1% of 1%. And, the majority of Americans are there. You could say we have poor Americans, and we do. We have Americans that struggle, and we have Americans that need food and need shelter, all that stuff. But when you go to some of these other countries and you look at what people have there, it's rather amazing. I will say they had more security down there than I've ever seen in a country. The police were all armed, not just with handguns, but with rifles, real automatic rifles, not the kind of ones that people were. And then at every nice grocery store, hardware store, clothing store, whatever, or a gas station, there'd be somebody with a shotgun standing in front.
Wow.
Yes.
Jeez.
They were serious about it. Jesus. And they were nice shotguns, I got to tell you. Really nice shotguns. Didn't ask to see any of them, but yes.
Right.
Yeah. The other thing, it would rain.
Probably didn't work that well.
It would rain.
They were made in the U.S.
So, yes. No, I don't know. Some are probably not. Some are Italian. There was a lot of rainfall at night, and that would wash all that water would come out the river. So if you went out in the morning, almost everywhere where you surf, there's a river flowing into the ocean, all brown. All of that silt and everything in the river getting washed down, and you're walking through that and you're paddling out through that. And it was interesting at times.
Sort of like swimming in the Seine for a triathlon.
No, it was much safer than that. It was much safer than that. We're not talking about France. Is France even a third world country?
Pick a day of the week.
Fifth world.
They're trying to get there. They have goals.
No, but it was really, really fun. And like I said, a lot of great people down there, really some neat events. And it was fun. I would ask people, how long they'd been there. And after the third person that was a local, I asked my whole life.
Yeah.
Right. I'm like, well, I'm just, and they're like, why would you ask that? I said, well, in Florida, no one's from here. Yeah. So I was just curious, did people move? But they literally, as long as I can remember, my family's been from here, right? Yeah. So,
we live like kings.
Oh, yeah, and we do. We do. All right, so that was that was it. Any interesting stories and topics this week on the show?
Of course.
Awesome.
Watch the show. You'll find out.
Was Davey marginally good again this week?
Davey was fantastic. We did a breakdown of Olympic fashions.
Yeah.
Oh, and that was one. Davey, that picture that she had me with some outfit on, I know you would never let me out of the house wearing that. So I knew that was all
He's
fake.
talking about the South Pacific.
Yeah, I knew the
Wash that
South
man
Pacific.
right out
You'd
of it.
never let me out of the house with that, Davey. I know that.
It's appropriate if you're washing your hair in a communal setting.
There were people washing clothes in the rivers as we went past them. So, yes.
In the muddy rivers.
In the muddy rivers, yes. Yep, not kidding. But no, they're really doing a lot down there to promote the surf culture. So they have some of the best right-hand breaks in Central America. Most of Central America is kind of mixed, but because El Salvador is on an angle compared to the rest of South and Central, it picks up everything as a right swell and a right point. And man, I rode some of the longest waves I've ever ridden as a right. So it was really, really fun. You only went left if you wanted to. Yeah. Really, really.
I mean,
really
I'm sure that was perfect for you, always going right.
It was.
Yeah.
It was a validation of my life.
Yeah, always going right. So.
I felt so good. I felt in touch with myself.
Yeah. No, I want to hear about you touching yourself.
I know. It was really fun. However, I do want you to know this was my mailbox when I came home.
Yeah.
That's
boy.
politicals.
Tell me it's a campaign season without
that is my mailbox right there. That's the mailbox I got.
Yowzers.
I know.
If you did the math on those mailers, you have an idea what each one of those mailers
I have the stack. There's a stack over here in the corner.
But just holding in your hand, how much money do you think was spent? Just what's in your hand?
More money than I raised both campaigns.
Yeah.
I mean, more money than I raised both campaigns.
You have $500,000 in flyers.
At least.
Good gracious.
At least. I know. It's crazy. We're counting them whenever we get to we do our political show the last that Monday before. We're going to see who sent the most mailers.
I'm sure my trash man's counting them for me.
Wait, does that mean that I have to categorize them and count them?
Yeah,
it'll take you 5 minutes. You're a genius.
I got to come in early for that show.
You know who else is really good at that? Blake. Blake is amazingly good at that.
Do you want to come in on the 19th of August?
Dad, am I working that day? Please tell me I'm working that day.
You're busy.
Yeah.
You got to learn to answer quicker. That was terrible. You're busy.
No.
No, you're not busy. Okay, good.
Yeah,
we'll look forward to you being here.
Yeah. Rebecca just asked if we can redeem them.
I think that's a phenomenal thing. Why can't we take them back? Like the old Coke bottles back in the day.
Yeah. I was telling Blake the other day, I was like, he's never had to worry about like how much money he has in his wallet to get gas.
Yeah.
I was like, when we were growing up, we were gathering bottles to get gas to put $1 worth. If you got $5 in your tank, woo, rich.
That was full then, too.
Yeah.
That was fill the tank.
We had, in our car, we didn't smoke, surprisingly.
Yeah, shocker.
And so we had all this change in the ashtray. And that was our slush fund named after Richard Nixon, right? It was the slush fund. And so we would, if we ran out of money, we were like, well, there's always $2 in change in there. $2 in change got you 2-3 gallons of gas, and you were good to at least get home or get to the beach or get where you had to go. But yeah, it was, filling up the tank with $5 is a lot different than what it is now.
Yeah. What was Michael J. Fox's character's name?
Mike Keaton.
Keaton. Was it Michael Keaton?
Michael Keaton.
Okay. Yeah, that was you. You had I don't think I was right.
No, Michael J. Fox.
Alex
P. Keaton.
Alex P. Keaton.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Michael
Dad,
Gross was the dad, but I don't think his name was Michael either.
So, Alex P. Keaton.
Alex P. Keaton. No,
I picture you as him as a high schooler.
I never had a tie.
Yeah.
And you have to understand, I didn't know
have the attitude.
I don't know if I had his attitude.
That's true. He was funny.
My problem in high schools was I had 3 pairs of gray pants that got recycled throughout the week, and I had 2 or 3 light blue shirts, and that is what I wore every day. So when I went to college, I had no clothes. I literally had like 2 throws.
It explains your fashion today.
It does.
Yeah.
You can blame the Sisters of St. Joseph for my lack of fashion.
Yes. So was it navy blue on gray, or what was it?
It was light blue, baby blue.
Oh, that's horrible.
Yeah, baby blue on gray.
Wow, they hated you guys.
They did, and we weren't allowed to wear
To make
shorts.
his eyes pop.
Yeah.
Now the kids today can wear shorts. We didn't have air conditioning and weren't allowed to wear shorts. They have air conditioning and are allowed to wear shorts out there.
Yeah, see, that makes no sense.
It doesn't
We
make
didn't
any
have
sense.
air conditioning either. Like, we had portables that had air conditioning.
Yeah.
And if you got a portable class and you're like, oh, I hope it's in the afternoon.
Mhm.
It was almost a waste if you had a portable class in the morning. It's like, oh man, we wasted AC.
Well, the worst times to have PE was first class of the day because you were sweaty and smelly the rest of the day, or second to last class.
Yeah.
Because then it was like the heat of the day, and you went in, you sat down, you tried to take notes, and everything is sticking to you, right?
So yeah, in DeLand we only had 10th, 11th, and 12th grade. And we were the biggest high school in the state of Florida at the time because Deltona, DeBerry, Lake Helen, all of them went to Cassaday, all of them went to DeLand.
Yes.
And now there's 7 high schools that split it up. But we had varsity sports, and that was your last class of the day, which was perfect because all you had to do was switch. You went into varsity sports, you went into your weight room or whatever, you went to the baseball field, and that was your PE. And it was perfect. So
I got to ask, how much did you bench in high school?
I benched about 225. I weighed about 125 and I benched about 225. Believe it or not. So.
I do not. Does anybody in here believe? Does anybody online believe Troy benched 225 as a 125 guy?
Well, I want you to go back and see how many state championships there were in weightlifting in DeLand High School compared to St. Augustine High, compared to St. Joe.
Hang on, we had
many
none.
of those did you
Davey,
You had 0.
Davey's a big guy. Physical guy, in shape guy. Davey, I want to know what Davey bench pressed in high school.
You know how long
and
Davey's
you're telling me,
arms are?
I know, but
You know how long Davey's arms? There's no way he would never have been on the weightlifting team.
I just want to know what he benched. He had to do weight training for swimming.
You know what was close to us is where Nautilus was created.
Mm-hmm.
It was in Lake Helen.
Yeah.
So we had all the best equipment in DeLand. That's why we had, I think, 7 out of the 10 years during the 80s. DeLand High School won the state weightlifting.
Well, I know your family was the richest family in DeLand. Did your
were.
father buy all the equipment for the?
He let me lift the
Did
pig.
he also buy the special?
You know how hard it is to hold a pig down in a 55-gallon drum when your dad's castrating him? It's not easy.
No, I don't know.
It's not easy.
I don't want to know how much Davey bench press. I'm serious. If you outbenched Davey in high school,
I'm pretty sure I outbenched Davey.
Oh, Davey.
So Davey posted pictures of him in his competition days, and he brought in his world championship Speedo. It was tiny. He was a wiry dude.
Yeah,
So I don't know.
He was very thin.
Yeah.
He was very thin. He was a long distance swimmer.
He was a long distance swimmer.
Said the shortest player at shortstop ever in DeLand's history.
He was a very thin guy. And if you have longer arms, you can't bench.
Yeah.
You don't see any guys in the weightlifting competitions with long arms like Davey.
Okay.
They're all short, stubby
He's tall
looking
and
guys.
skinny, so he could cut through the water like a knife.
Oh God, you guys are killing me.
I can tell you this: I benched way more in high school than I do now.
What do you think? What do you think you could bench now?
I would say I'm probably in the mid 100s.
Okay. All right.
I probably can't. It's probably the first time in my life
Mhm.
I can't bench my weight.
Okay.
I don't think I can bench my weight right now.
Okay.
And I weigh about 170, 165.
All right.
So
I think for the first time in my life, I actually can bench.
You
my
can't
weight.
bench. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, our lives have switched.
I think when I weighed 115, I couldn't bench 115. So yeah.
You were a cross country runner.
Yeah.
You can barely lift your shirt.
I had help. We had staff. We had staff that
The
would come
lighter
help.
you are, the more the
Yes.
wind helps when you're running long
Oh,
races.
that's it. We always tried to schedule the races downwind so that I had an advantage.
Yeah, and like when we met each other, we both had about 2% body fat.
I know. That was after lunch at Osteen's with dessert.
So if we had a milkshake.
At Barnacles. All right. Before we get into trivia today, so one of the questions I have, the Olympics.
Yeah.
There's kind of been this undercurrent of religion in the Olympics this time, more so than I've seen in the past. So I've got some comments, but I just kind of wanted to throw it out there for your comments and kind of see what you guys thought. Blake, what do you think about Olympics and religion this time around? I think there's more kind of focus on it than I've ever seen before in the Olympics.
It didn't really matter to me. Like when I first watched it, I didn't really notice like the similarity like to it. So it was like,
And
okay.
I didn't see it originally, and I heard about it and all this other
yeah,
stuff.
because
and then when I went back and watched it, I didn't see it. And Blake and I aren't religious people, but I mean, I know about the Last Supper and all that. I didn't see it as being the Last Supper.
Okay.
I just didn't see it. I saw it as a mythical. The way the rest of it fit into it, I didn't see it that way. And I think if you're looking at it through the eyes from a faith-based decision maker, I can see after looking at it, okay, I can see that. But I didn't take it as offensive. But like I said, I think if you look at it from a faith-based decision maker, I can see where it would be offensive.
Well, the other issue is this goes more towards surfing. And I'm going to get Amanda to bring up Gabriel Medina. You've got the picture. You're already going. You're a genius.
Because, I mean...
So Gabriel Medina was... I'm sorry. Go ahead, Amanda.
Well, they admitted initially that was a parody of Da Vinci's Last Supper. And then they scrubbed all of those statements and they reframed it as being a Dionysus Feast of the Gods. So, I mean, their initial reactions, Barbara... I don't know. She was the one that was in the middle with the crown and the blue dress. Barbara Butch, I think is her name. She posted on Instagram the still of the famous still that went around the world, juxtaposed to Da Vinci's Last Supper, and then described everyone's roles. And she said that she was Olympic Jesus. So that's how she initially described it, and then pulled down that post and deleted it. But with all of the uproar and all the hoopla about that, I'd much rather, that's why I was pulling it up before you asked me, I'd much rather talk about this picture, and Mike can probably give a better description. But this is an amazing picture.
And that's where I was going, right? The first week controversy, I think we kind of done, but I think what's happened is because that happened, and because religion was kind of elevated there at the beginning of the games, you had athletes that are very faith-based that felt like they needed to speak out or to say things. And so this one with Gabriel Medina, where he's pointing towards the heavens, right? He just had a perfect wave at Chopu and just an amazing surf, and comes out, and it's just such an iconic picture. There was another surfer, a Brazilian surfer. He had the image of Christ in Rio de Janeiro on his board, and they made him remove it. Ironically, what was all over everything whenever they had the Olympics in Rio de Janeiro, but Christ the Redeemer, the statue, right? Everywhere in every Olympic game.
I didn't hear that story, and that's not right.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
It's unnecessary.
I feel that's wrong, and everybody has the right to express their religion.
So there've been a lot of heartfelt expressions by some of the athletes, which has been very, very interesting. So for me, I think that is I think that's just, it's great to see that. I think, you have to kind of be mindful. We said this a couple weeks ago. Christianity is the only religion right now that you can make fun of. It's the only religion that you can try. I wouldn't advise.
Paganism you can.
I wouldn't advise making fun of Islam in the same way.
Well,
I don't think that they
don't take it. They have a very weak sense of humor.
Even the woke Christians will come after you if you do that.
Yeah.
So, But I mean,
Right, but it's okay to pick on the Jews this week?
oh, it's always okay to pick on the Jews.
Yeah, just saying.
You guys got shut out of the VP stakes too,
Yeah.
just because
Yeah.
Well, I thought it would have been a poor choice. He can come back again later.
he can come back later.
Yeah.
I think he got eliminated for a large part because of that reason, though.
I don't disagree.
And I think that's a very telling and interesting. It was two interesting stories. One, Josh Shapiro's faith came in, whether or not he would be picked as a Jewish vice president based on everything that's going on in the Middle East. And the Democratic Party seems to be leaning towards supporting the Palestinians more than the Jewish people. And you could have a major outbreak of war between Hezbollah and Israel at any minute.
Mm-hmm.
So having him on the ticket, I think, was the worst thing the Democrats could have done. I mean, and I hate to say this because I probably disagree with 90% of his views. I didn't want him excluded for that reason.
Right.
He could have been excluded for all the other reasons, and I would have been okay.
Look, the AIPAC is just spending bazillions of dollars for anybody who's supporting Palestine in primaries, and two very, what are called progressive Democrats are now no longer running.
Bowman and Cori Bush have been shown the door.
Yep.
Yes.
In two of the most expensive primary races in history.
Yes.
My question would be, why wasn't Buttigieg, I can't say his name.
Buttigieg.
Mayor
Buttigieg.
Pete,
Mayor Pete.
let me help you
Why-
out.
Why wasn't he in the conversation at all? I mean, was it because he was a gay man, or was it because they
Have
were,
you been to an airport lately?
He was in the conversation. I mean,
while,
he
yeah.
was.
He
in-
was.
He was one of the top.
He
I
was
didn't
being
see it.
vetted. I just don't think that he brings a whole lot to the ticket.
Yeah.
Have you been to an airport lately?
And he's
I
still
tell
the
you,
smartest
and
man in
and
politics.
the Democrat group that I saw, he's the guy to me that makes the most sense when he talks.
Well, as we sat yesterday, going by the
He
airport,
might
right?
not be liberal enough.
I don't know. I think he checks certain liberal boxes that people would be happy with. I joke. You've flown. You guys have all. But I think airline travel has not recovered from 2020. Right. I think the height of airline travel being efficient was 2019. We've not gotten anywhere near that in the last
I can
4 or
tell
5
you this,
years.
and I've been very, very fortunate
Mhm.
in all my flights. And the scariest one we had was coming back from DC this weekend. The storm was here in Jacksonville, and they're like, "Oh, we're gonna have to hold." And literally, they say we're gonna have to hold. They just put us in a hold, and we're on the tarmac, just sitting there. And 20 seconds later, he goes, "We got an opening. We're going." And it was like, it was beautiful. It was almost like, because all of us were just like, "Oh, yeah, oh, yeah."
I don't know. I might have gone no.
Like,
I want to stay in DC one more day, but
yeah, you would have been okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And you guys went on a baseball trip.
Yeah, we did.
Okay.
We got to see the new Yankee Stadium. Was not impressed.
Not new anymore.
Yeah. Well, it's new
New to
compared
you.
to the other ones
Right.
that have been there before. But it's to me it's the second worst stadium that we've been to out of, like, I think we've been
10.
I've been to 14. You've been to 10. So it's the second worst stadium that I went to.
Have you been to the new Braves Stadium?
yes.
Yes.
That-
Very,
And
very
that-
nice.
Truist Park.
Yep.
Right.
yeah, but we went there when it was still SunTrust. So
Yeah.
I still have as I have it as like number one.
Yeah.
Well, number two. Wrigley Field was number
I think
one.
Wrigley's my number one, and I think it's number 3, because I got to put Fenway up there too.
Fenway is my favorite. Wrigley's
Fenway
second.
seats are awful,
Oh, yeah.
and
Tropicana.
there's
And
Adds
don't
to the
and don't face
ambiance.
the field.
but,
It adds to the
but
ambiance.
the character
You gotta-
of the stadium and the fans and how much they love their team. Nothing can compete with the Cubs. I'm sorry, the fans in left field in Wrigley. There's no other baseball experience like it. I don't think Wrigley will ever be top.
If we had seats in here that resembled Fenway, this is how we would all sit.
Right.
And we'd be looking
And
this.
we'd have to get up like this.
Yeah, I know. And if we were doing the show like we were at Wrigley, we'd all need an Uber home at the end of every show. There's just too much fun.
Oh, yeah.
All right, trivia.
All right.
Is there some trivia? Any other topics you guys? I think there was a VP pick. Everybody, you guys on the left, happy with your VP
I'm
pick?
fine with it.
We talked an awful lot about the VP pick last night, Levi and I. So
Kennedy's the only one who can beat him. I've read it everywhere in New York and in D.C., so it's got to be true.
Kennedy's the only one who can beat who?
Beat Trump. That's what all the signs say in New York and D.C.
Really?
Yep.
It did.
All the billboards say Kennedy's the only one who can beat Trump. New York City, Washington, D.C., All those billboards. That's all. They
No
say.
mention of Harris.
No mention of Harris.
Well, I wonder if those were put up before Biden backed out.
They were all digital billboards,
Yeah,
so
they-
they can be.
When I put up before he dumped a bear in Central Park because he couldn't eat it.
Yeah.
I was gonna
Is
skin it
that
and eat it,
worse
but it
than
was
the
in my
Christy
car.
Nome story?
Does he know he's out of the race yet?
No.
Does he know he's out of his
The brain worm
mind?
still says no.
In his defense, it wasn't. He goes, I didn't do what my uncle did.
Yeah.
You know.
Right. There are worse things that you could leave in the back seat of your vehicle. I'm just saying.
Oh, God.
Ask his
There's
uncle.
worse things you can leave in the car.
Yeah.
If we could, we'd have to have a seance.
Yeah.
I just think it's funny that he was like, "Oh, it'll be funny if we leave it in the park for someone to find," and it costs like this huge situation.
I still don't know why he didn't make a rug out of it. You know.
Well, because he was leaving town and he didn't have a place to store it on the way to the airport, and so he
Well,
had
you
to.
hide it somewhere. Central Park's not where you hide it.
Well, there's dumpsters everywhere.
Well,
Like
he
just
killed the
put it in
bear
a
either.
dumpster. Yeah.
I'm 100% out of this story.
Oh, you don't know.
I don't know. I've been on vacation.
Oh, okay.
I'm really enjoying this. Any second now, I'm going to figure out it's a Seinfeld
12,
bet.
14 years ago.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
He pulls up on
He who?
this,
Robert F.
Kennedy.
Kennedy
Okay.
Jr.
All right.
Kennedy Jr. Him and a group of people pull up on this bear that's dead on the road.
Yes.
It happened right in front of
He
him.
got hit by a car in
Got
front
hit
of
by a
him.
car in front of him.
So he
Bear
knows
cub.
it's fresh.
So he's like,
Right.
okay, let's try and
Problematic.
save this bear. I think he wanted to make a rug out of it or something. Or,
No, he wasn't. So in the
No.
story, he says that he has a permit that if it's a roadkill bear, you have a permit in New York, you can harvest the meat from it. So his intention was to harvest the meat from this roadkill bear.
So I have to
So
ask.
that's the story that he tells.
I have to ask a Monty Python question.
Mhm.
Was he dead or mostly dead? Right? It was
Princess Bride.
Princess Bride. Sorry.
Princess Bride,
not
it
dead yet,
was in
but-
the van, so I'm assuming it was
Oh.
at least mostly
That
dead.
would have been more beautiful. The story would have been
If
more
it was
beautiful
alive.
if the bear like was just knocked out and comes alive in the van.
Wouldn't that be planes, trains, and automobiles?
No, that's
though?
Tommy Boy. That's the deer and
Tommy
Tommy
Boy.
Boy.
And
Yeah.
that story from Tommy Boy actually happened, and it was a phone call to 911 where a deer came alive, and the deer was biting the guy as he was driving.
Does Van Strange have a new billboard up?
Van
Yes, he
Strange has a new
does.
Oh,
billboard.
where's it
Oh,
at?
man.
Yeah.
16.
It's on 16.
16 next to the old gas station.
I leave town and Van Strange. Please tell me he's not
It's-
advertising
it's-
for real
it-
estate.
it's-
You
He
got a
isn't.
text today.
yeah, it's
I didn't
about-
get the
You
text.
have a picture. Yes,
there's
you
a
did.
there's a butt comment involved, and
Yes.
he in the video he threw out a little challenge to the Hot Tua girl.
Oh.
Oh,
This is what Davey sent you and I both today.
I did not see that.
Yeah, I think it's something like let him eat that butt, something like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
It's yeah.
Lord of me.
I told Davey this is why I can't get the alligator farm to sponsor. This is
They don't
why.
have a sense of humor.
You know,
That's just not their image.
Pete's a good. Van Strange
He's
is
a
good
good
looking dude.
marketing.
Yep, really good at that. That's amazing. If he gets the Hawk Tua girl here,
Oh, my
that would be
word.
hilarious.
He-
She's not a Floridian though.
Yeah,
She
I don't
isn't.
think that matters.
I think we can give her an honorary Floridian.
Yes.
where she was at.
What is she? Is she gonna host the Florida Woman Contest?
I
Is
would
that
be
what she's gonna
willing
do?
to
Florida
bet you.
No, there's
that-
a Florida Woman Beauty Contest
If-
at the Florida Man Games. There's a Florida Woman Beauty Contest.
Yeah, there
That
was.
was last year, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
last year.
It's
Is
not
she gonna do that
well,
this year?
It's not happening this year.
Yeah.
It-
It
so-
was
so-
sponsored by somebody else, yeah.
So what I believe is so it's not going to be the same people that's going to be running the beauty contest as last year. It's going to be a different beauty contest.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
So, but Van has his billboard out there. He's ready to go.
I think Pete is
He's ready to go for a lot of things.
Pete is a genius.
Yes.
That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. All right. You guys ready?
No.
Yes, we're ready.
All right. Amanda, I'm gonna get the tough question for you out of the way first.
Cool.
Actually, I'm gonna
Oh,
wait
yeah.
on this one. I'm gonna give you a chance. I'm gonna wait.
Thank you.
Sorry.
I'll hold
Making
that one
noise
up
over
until
here.
you're last. Okay.
It's all right. You can get me back for the shower
So
picks.
which Disney Star Wars person who is in a dispute with Disney was allowed, their lawsuit was allowed to go forward. It was not dismissed. Disney wanted to dismiss the suit. They said that they had been dismissed for wrongful cause, and a California judge agreed with them. So it's a Disney series that's on Disney Plus. It's a Star Wars series. Which character, Amanda?
The only one I know, maybe Gina Carano.
Mandalorian.
What's the name of the actor?
I don't know. I don't know their names.
So the guy that plays the Mandalorian.
Guy who plays the Mandalorian.
Pedro Pascal.
Pedro Pascal.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it's the woman. I'm agreeing with Amanda, the woman that played the sheriff, and she got bounced.
Gina Carano.
Gina Carano.
See, she could walk in. I don't know who she is, and I've watched all of Mandalorian.
The funny thing about you saying Pedro Pascal is Pedro Pascal arguably did the same kind of tweet that she got fired for.
Mm-hmm. He was the star.
Even worse. But he was coming from the leftist perspective, whereas she was coming from the libertarian perspective, and she lost her job. That's why she's suing.
She's going to win.
I think
she's going to win. Disney's writing a check. They might as well write the check.
Yeah.
Which Major League Baseball team, Troy Blevins,
All right.
this week set a record for the most consecutive losses in the American League?
Most consecutive losses. It's got to be the White Sox. They're awful. I don't even know.
It's the Chicago White Sox. I think it was 21.
Chicago White Sox.
What's the number?
21.
I'm going to say Chicago White Sox 21.
You are so welcome that I did not ask that question first for you.
Thanks.
Yes, everybody got a freebie
I
on
can
that
tell you
one.
this. I didn't know, but I know how terrible the White Sox are.
Wait, did he give a number? He shouldn't get one.
No, he would have known. Troy in numbers, really?
Yeah.
Okay, Lenny. Hello. What is the largest U.S. bank? Now, there's there's about 7 of them listed here, right? So if you get one of the 7 that's listed, I'll give you a point. If you get the number 1 bank, the largest bank in the United States.
He's a peeker. Look at that.
Are we talking
He's a peeker.
like retail banks or banks?
Bank, retail bank.
Bank.
Listen, the retail banks are larger than any of the internet banks. So
No, I'm not thinking internet banks. I'm
Yeah.
talking like who the frick is Jamie Dimon runs what?
So you're not looking for like a mom and pop bank. You're looking for like a big boy
I am
bank.
not looking for Troy Blevins Bank of Blake. No, I'm not looking for that
the
one.
Bank of St. Augustine.
I'm not looking for that one.
You're not looking for a Reunion Bank.
No, all right.
Well,
I'll go with Bank of America because I can't think of whoever the heck is.
All right, you get a point for that one.
Okay.
All right.
Okay,
Blake?
so what are we even naming here?
Large banks that could be the largest bank in the United States.
Okay.
So you already said Bank of America. I'm going to say Wells Fargo.
That is on the list, Blake.
Those are my top 2.
Yeah.
I really wish I went first.
All right.
Yeah, those are my top 2 too. So I'll say Chase.
Okay. That's a point.
Jeez, I thought something. Now I get stumped.
Take that.
I don't think I'm keeping my title.
Just think of the companies that rejected you for a credit card
There you
when
go.
you were younger, and probably one of them is still here.
Every credit card. I'm gonna go Truist.
Truist is not on the list.
Oh.
And Amanda gets a bonus point because
She got the
JP
number
Chase
1.
Morgan, right? Capitalization in billions has $603 billion. Bank of America is $328 billion. Wells Fargo, $201 billion. Morgan Stanley, $171
That's the one I was
billion.
trying to think of. Yeah.
Goldman Sachs, $159. Charles Schwab, $137. And Citibank, $125
They're all
So
evil.
billion.
Charles Schwab is a bank.
Mm-hmm.
See, that was where I was confused. I was trying. That's why I said.
Yep.
Doesn't Bank of America own
retail banks or the other
Morgan
ones? Okay.
Stanley?
I'm sure
No.
that there is some wall between the 2 of them. So, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Blake Blevins, you have no idea the answer to this
You
one.
turn it. I'm not looking. He is.
Florida property insurance rates have risen what percentage since 2019? And a lot and an enormous amount doesn't count as an answer if you're on here.
Florida property rate values have risen.
Now, how much is property insurance?
Insurance.
Is a shit ton.
It's almost, but I need a number associated with that.
You know what? Buttload is an actual unit of measure.
All right.
In the Florida Man games, that's the winning number.
All right. Oh, well, 69%.
Blake?
69%.
Okay. Amanda?
He stole my answer. I'll say 68%. You owe me one.
Don't box me out.
I'll say 81% because I want Lenny to have to at least try.
You see, I'm going with 40%.
All right.
Please be on
I
the
was-
42.5%.
Look at him go.
42.5%.
I pay attention.
You know,
I almost had it though. If he had just gone with you.
I don't know what has happened to this game while I've been gone. Amanda's got 4, Lenny's got 4, Blake has 3, and Troy has 1. And it was the gimme question on the White Sox.
Baseball question.
What the hell are you trying to say here, Mike?
Usually
I
competitive.
leave for a week and this happens to the show.
Money's doping.
My blood is clean.
Okay, Lance Armstrong.
I'm feeling like the the U.S. basketball team. I'm doing a late surge.
All right, who's
I
up?
heard Steph Curry's an early
Amanda.
surge. That's just what I heard.
All right, Amanda.
Amanda's up first. All
Exploded early.
right, Amanda, according to a 2021 report from Florida Tax Watch, approximately what percentage of Floridians live in coastal counties and are at risk of chronic flood damage? What percentage,
What percentage
of Floridians live in a coastal county?
I'm sticking with 69%.
I'm gonna go 71%.
Doggone.
I owe you 2.
It's all right.
I'll take the 69.
So you're matching a number?
Look, he's up by 1, so it's a.
Right.
Are you expecting an action, or are you just saying the same number?
That way you tie.
He said, "I'll take a
she was
69."
You want 68 is what you want.
Oh,
If
okay.
you want to go below her, is that what you were trying to do?
Well, you were 70.
71.
71, and you were?
69.
Oh, I'll do 70.
You're gonna go right in the middle.
Oh, right.
Who's the worst at math now?
I am.
All right. So you're looking for how many percent of people live in
the state of Florida, live in a coastal county that's subject to flood and hurricane damage.
85%.
All right. So, what did you say to Lenny when he picked 70?
Is it right on the nose?
It is right on the nose. Right on the nose. 70%.
I talked him into it too.
Well, that's where I was trying to go. I just didn't remember what everybody said.
Talked him into that.
Yes.
Okay.
I was going to have to split the answer between you and Amanda, and then you talked him into it.
Way to go!
My bad. Commanding lead, Lenny.
3 of us would have had points because he would have been 69 with me.
Yeah.
Which is, I can't keep saying that.
Does your husband watches
It's
Hi,
only
Louie.
it's only awkward if you make it awkward.
And I haven't. You guys have. I just want you to know that.
That's
All right.
why we're here.
Troy Levin's breaking U.S. intel reveals that what country is trying to interfere and undermine Trump's election process, election chances of being president? What country?
What country is?
What country
According
is
to U.S. intelligence?
U.S. intelligence? Now, that could be anything because we've heard a lot of things from
Yes,
U.S. intelligence in the last year. So I'm not sure that this should even be a
Latvia,
legal
it's
question,
Latvia.
but what question?
I'm going to go Russia.
China.
China.
Saudi Arabia.
Russia would be the funny one, so I'm going with Russia.
Iran.
So far away.
So far away. I
Hey,
did.
but I'm the closest.
Sponsored by the flock of seagulls.
Geographically speaking.
What did he take? He did. Should we give it to him because he's geographically closer?
Let
No.
me think about it. No.
Okay.
You're also the closest to reading the answers that you keep sneaking and peeking.
Yeah. Look at his eyes. I'm just going to keep the camera on his
Just
eyes.
cuts his
The
eyes.
rest of the game. Nobody else gets a camera. I need picture-in-picture, Pete. Where do we put that in on the keyboard?
Do you want me to turn it on for you?
For this keyboard, yes, I do.
Who's up
I have to
next?
walking back on Mike to do it.
Who's up next? Who's up
Mike's
next?
going to protect it.
It's Lenny, right?
Me.
Lenny.
Okay.
So no one got a point on that one.
How old was the athlete? Blah, 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 blah. Hang on.
All right, back to you.
Man, I'm trying to figure out.
Everybody watch him.
There was an athlete that won it. She's a skateboarder.
Oh, okay.
How old
Hold
was
that up
she?
a little higher, Mike.
How old was she?
Oh, me? How she
Yeah.
got in there? I don't know. I think she was 13.
She 13. She won a gold medal. How old is she?
13.
13.
12.
I don't know. 12.
I'll go with Lenny. 13. He's hot tonight.
16 is the answer.
Damn it.
16
We
year
get half a
old.
point.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were close, right? We were like Saudi Arabia.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
All right, Blake
Is the
Blevins.
camera still seriously on me the entire time?
Ah, yes. Blake Blevins. What percentage of 25
face
to
is that? That's
35-year-olds
We're so going to gift that.
are living with
Don't
their
worry.
parents? What percentage of 25 to 35-year-olds are living with their parents? You're not 25 yet.
He's
25 to
23.
30.
Mm-hmm.
23.
My house, it feels like 100%.
200%. You got two of them.
I got two.
24%.
Blake's at 24.
Mm.
Amanda?
I think it's more than that. I'm going 33%.
34.
30.
Okay. See, so 30% of the country is liberal, 30% is conservative, and 30% don't care about what the other think, right? And then 10% don't think. So even if you looked at it and said, well, all the liberal kids are going there.
Yeah,
right?
so that's 30 right there.
That's 30 right there.
Yeah.
If you just said all the liberal kids are so
I only
the
need 5 more percent.
You only need 5 more. So no, it's actually 17%.
Okay.
Wow.
17%.
At least I got points.
Yeah.
Blake's
That's
on the
impressive.
Yeah.
All right.
He
got
knows.
the one he knows
He
the
knows.
most.
I know. All right. So what
that'd be
year,
much higher.
Amanda,
Mhm.
what year was the last time that it was 17% of 25 to 35-year-olds were living with their parents in the United States? What year?
What year was the
What
last
year?
I'm gonna go way back and say 1933.
I was thinking the Depression myself. But I think it's later than that even. I'm going to go 38 before the war.
1984.
Ooh, they're watching you.
Big recession.
Yeah, it was early 80s.
Listen, Orwell.
I'm gonna say
Trust me, that frightens me.
I'm gonna say 78.
78.
So making a massive comeback with 1938, 1940
Right
was
before
the
war.
last
Yeah,
time, right before the
Right
war,
before the war.
height of the
Guys,
Depression,
Then they cleaned them all out
1940.
and sent them over to Europe.
I was
1940.
on the right track.
Yeah.
So, Lenny, how old were you when you were living with your parents in 1984? We got to know.
Nope. I was out on my own living in the village.
In the village.
In the village. Is that actually living somewhere if you're
Young
in the
man.
village?
Not the village is.
Oh,
Right. So, right now,
Were you in a commune in the village?
No, I was in an apartment on Charles Street.
okay, a week ago, and I missed it because I was getting ready to leave town, Deadpool and Wolverine opened up. How much money did they make in their opening weekend? What was the
Opening
gross sales?
weekend?
Opening weekend. They have far exceeded that now, but what was the opening weekend?
Who's going first?
My dad.
You
It's
did
you.
30. You said 33. I
Okay.
did
Yeah.
38. So that would have been. I'm gonna say, man, the movies have really taken a bite. Horizon bombed like crazy. I'm
Yes,
gonna
it
say
did.
like 60 million.
60 million.
60 million.
128 million.
128.
I was gonna go something stupid astronomical, but I'm gonna say 80 million.
I'm sticking with something stupid astronomical. I'm going to say 100 million.
128 million is the closest one, but it is actually $180 million.
Wow. So it
It
crushed
just
everybody
crushed
else.
Right.
everybody.
And kept going on the second weekend.
Yes.
Yeah.
It
said
absolutely
120?
crushed
I
everybody.
can tell you this, it's the only movie
I got to write
wanted-
down the
it's
answers
the
because
only
I was trying to
movie
go higher.
I've wanted to see
Right.
in the movie theaters
Yep.
in like 3 years.
Yeah.
So, and I haven't
I
went
saw
yet.
it. It was good.
I haven't went
What,
yet.
Deadpool and Wolverine?
Yeah. Is it as funny as Deadpool?
I mean, it's wildly inappropriate and incredibly
Perfect.
violent and hilarious.
So
all
you've
the
seen
things
it
I
twice.
all
I
the things
don't have a babysitter or a budget to see a movie twice. I saw it once. It was very
Mike,
funny.
you understand the last movie I went to was
Deadpool.
with you and Pete.
Yeah.
It was Deadpool 2.
Deadpool 2.
Yeah.
We
I mean-
laughed
Oh,
hysterically.
yeah, it was so funny.
I'm hoping to go this weekend.
Yeah.
That's my goal, to go this weekend. All right.
There's so many just like inside jokes and cameos. It's a lot of fun.
Perfect.
Last question.
Wall.
Lenny's already crushed this, but what percentage is this year, 2024, behind the 2019 box office at this exact same time?
What percentage?
What
behind?
percentage is it behind?
2019?
Yep.
Okay.
75%.
Gonna say 110%.
Dude, that's a big spread. You said 75?
Yeah.
I'll say 76.
I like the faith.
I'm actually going to go the other way. I'm going to go 111.
So the fact that all of you are at that high, it's actually only 35%,
Yeah.
which gives Lenny one more point today. and an incredible crushing victory over everybody. We rarely get somebody with 8 points in a show, right? Lenny had 8, Blake had 4, Amanda had 4. You guys got stuck. Troy ended up with 3. I think you did
save
too.
some for the next week. There's no carryover points. Just so you understand.
It's a crushing victory.
All week. Okay.
I think it's your second victory.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yeah, yes.
In like the last 4 or 5 weeks.
Yeah.
You're getting on a roll.
Yeah.
All right. What is Bollox about today?
It's actually the history of subways. So
All right.
we're on 2 different
The actual
types of
trains,
subways.
not the actual sandwiches.
Wait a minute. I don't understand. I'm hungry.
Which, by the way, when you go look up Subways, the first thing that comes up is the Subway sandwich chain. And you have to be more specific to find out about the underground trains.
Yeah. So, and it's amazing. So, I found out a lot, like, because that's one of the things. And this is why you would love filling in on Bollox. And you do a great job when you fill in on Bollox. And we just absolutely love the deep dives you go into.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, this one I learned
This was
a lot.
really deep.
This one was a deep dive. So,
Yeah.
A deep dive.
Pardon the pun.
yeah.
So when you dove that deep, did you find the second tunnel machine?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
As long
we
as
did.
that's going to be on the show today.
Yes, and and there's different types of construction, the trench and cover, and all the different types of construction.
That was
and,
London.
Yeah. So it's pretty wild, some of the stuff that was out there.
Are you talking about the ghost train from Ghostbusters? Because if you're not, I'm not watching.
I don't know.
Julie and I just watched Ghost Train, Ghostbusters, Frozen, whatever.
Yeah.
Last night.
Was it any good?
I liked it.
yeah,
Pete
it was
didn't like
fine.
it. Pete didn't like it, but he doesn't like Paul Rudd. If you
Yeah.
got, I can tell you,
Right.
you have to like Paul Rudd to like it.
It's
Plus,
kind of a hybrid between Ghostbusters and with a dash of Stranger Things, I feel like.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they brought the whole band back together again for the end of it, so that was fun.
It was-
But like the Ghostbusters purist people are kind of annoyed because like in the original Ghostbusters, the proton packs, they're heavy and they're like sweating carrying them. And now like kids are just throwing them on their backs like backpacks and running. So it's
Well,
for
that's
the-
Did you see how-
for the purist, it bothers them the little details.
You,
I'm just-
okay, that's
Technology
21st century.
evolves.
More pure thing. Let me show you this. Mike, please show me what your first cell phone looked like if you were holding it up to your ear.
Whoa. Tex, hang on just a second. Did you see the shape that Dan Aykroyd and Bill Murray and Harold Ramis were in? Anything was heavy to them. When they put a coat on, they were dying.
Prime shape for the 80s.
No, they were only. They had a dad bod before it was called a dad bod.
They
But
did.
Mike's first phone, he wore it on his hip.
Yeah.
His pants would hang down.
Mhm.
Well, it wasn't because he weighed 106 pounds, but his phone literally looked like one of those World War II, like in the field
Walkie-talkies,
phones.
yeah.
Yeah.
And like he could use
He's
it
calling
as a
in a
weapon.
blast.
I was calling in artillery most of the time.
Yeah, it was a
accidentally.
Yes.
It was a brick.
Yeah, that was a brick phone. All right, so that's on tomorrow morning. You guys got the 904 now. What do you got?
Yeah, and early voting starts Saturday. So
Awesome.
I talked to
Early
Vicky
voting starts
today.
Saturday.
It starts Saturday.
We will also have on Monday Jim Priester, who's running for sheriff. And
Jim's
then
a
on
good guy.
Tuesday, we will have Sheriff Hardwick. Who's running for re-election. So unfortunately, you and I, our schedules were so messed up, we couldn't interview them and run that separately. So I apologize to both of them about that, and I'll do it again during the show. But we will have interviews with both of those candidates.
They're both great guys. I've
Mhm.
known them both for decades. So
Since they were knee high to a grasshopper.
since I
So
was.
so you
Even though
like
they're
both of
younger than
them.
me.
You
Even though
like-
they're both younger than me.
You like both of them?
don't-
Is there a third candidate? If you like both of them, I don't know.
I do have a Rob sign in my yard, so it's
Okay.
the only sign I do have in my yard. But I do like Jim Priester is a good quality man.
I will get to meet him for the first time on Monday.
Yeah.
Looking forward to both interviews. Sorry that we didn't have time to do more of them, but
I
it's
feel
just
like
been a
I know
crazy-
Jim because he's always on my YouTube ads.
Really?
Mhm.
I am somehow, as political as I am, miss all of this. I don't know how my number has been missed out of. I think you really signed me up as a Democrat a long time ago
He
online.
says he's not getting any
I
mail.
haven't gotten one.
I mean, I'm a super
mail.
voter, and
You're
nobody's
a
got
Democrat
my
in
number.
St. John's
Tell you
County.
what,
They're
this-
like, nah.
The top,
There's very few
top
of us.
league-
You know, it's like 40,000 to 125,000.
Yeah, so they're not even trying.
I mean, there's more unaffiliated the Democrats in St.
Yeah.
Johns County.
You know what you guys are? You guys like trying to find a unicorn.
Pete Pink one.
Little horny unicorn.
Pink flying unicorn. All right. It's good to be back. Amanda, Davey, Levi, thank you all for sitting in so that I could go do great mission work down in El Salvador with Christian
Thank you for
surfers.
helping people.
And we will be back next week, 2 interviews and a big show on Wednesday and Thursday.
Yep.
Have a great weekend.
Bye.